Hello there, World of Tankers. Welcome to the channel. Hopefully all of you are doing well out there. I'm, of course, your host, Tanks Blitz, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about one of the most notorious Tier 10 mediums in World of Tanks Blitz, which is the T-22 medium. Now, this vehicle, I think it came into the game now 3 years ago on the second or third Blitz fair. This tank was absolutely broken. When it came into the game, it was pretty much the exact same as it was currently. It had stupid damage per minute, a very accurate gun for what you're getting, and the armor profile, oh my god, just bounced like 60% of the shells every single time it got hit. But of course, that was 3 years ago, and metas change big time. And the T-22 is definitely not an exception to that. Now, while the T-22 medium is still one of the strongest performing Tier 10 mediums in Blitz, in fact, it still has the highest average win rate. The thing about the T-22 medium is the win rate used to be, on average, a 62% for the past 90 days, about 2 years ago. But today, it's sitting just at 58.9%. That is a 3% drop. A very large drop when you think about it. Yeah, so the T-22 medium, a lot of people have been asking me, is the tank just not good anymore? Well, it's not necessarily that the tank isn't good, because it still is just as strong as it always was. It still has the same damage per minute, still has the same penetration values, it still has the same armor, it's still broken in the way if you look at the vehicle. But the thing that balances out the T-22 is just the other mediums at Tier 10. If you think about it, over the past years, the mediums have really been changed in Blitz. The Leopard got 3,660 damage per minute. The STB got an armor buff on the side. It got a DPM buff, I'm pretty sure. It got not armor, I already said that. And as well, I think the STB got, like, accuracy. The STB got buffed massively. It got view range. There's a lot of different vehicles, and you've got tanks like the Vickers Light. There are so many changes to the Tier 10 mediums. Another one is, like, the 121B, the WZ-121, two different Tier 10s there. The T-62A got more gun depression, so it's very, very different on what the meta was like 2 years ago compared to what it's like now. And that's definitely one issue that the T-22 really struggles with, is just dealing with other mediums because of how deadly they are. Now, the Batchat is not a tank the T-22 struggles with, because of course it's just a T-22. It's got stupid DPM, and this Batchat, I'm not sure what he's exactly trying to do, but he's not doing a great job at it. Although, sadly, we did bounce that shell, but like this 121B, yeah, he pens a heat shell right through our tank, and he's actually pushing fairly aggressive for what he is, so let's see if we can pen a heat shell in his tank. There we go. Let's even plop on our adrenaline here. Of course, we're going to out-reload him, so let's go for that track wheel. Perfect tracking shot. Let's wiggle it. There you go. You can see the armor. What makes the T-22 so crazy, though, is that armor. Like, you get the weirdest bounces on this tank, and that's because all you have to do is really wiggle it, and it does a fine job. So, the gun is accurate. I know a lot of people say the gun isn't great. I actually find the gun fantastic. You can see it's pretty dang OP. It's got a good enough reload to keep slapping shells out, and not only does it have a good reload, but it has the penetration to cut through any armor if you're loading heat. So we're already cleared 2,000 damage here, and let's tap one more shell into the cupola of the poor mouse in there. We've also got a tank like the FV 2 and 5B, but he's not doing too well either. So yeah, already moving on to now the WZ-121B. Ooh, I did not see this guy climbing up the hill there. But you know what? To be fair, I trust my armor enough just to make a risky push. Although he didn't even shoot at me. There you go. A grill bouncing off my side and almost losing a big amount of hit points there. I was almost about to ram this E100. But now we can start getting out the damage on this guy. There's 2 shells into him. We're going to have to start shooting at this Batchat as well. But it looks like maybe we're not going to have to. So let's just keep tapping shells. Oh, that was a weird... I think that went into his end... I'm not really sure where that shell went, to be fair. It might have gone into, like, the turret ring of tank and bounced off. But to be fair, we've still done a pretty dang good battle. Not the most damage, but we're sitting at 3,000, which, of course, is a very respectable amount. And that's exactly just what the T-22 is good at. You saw I bounced a grill shell in the side across the map. And I bounced, like, half the shells I received in general. And that's because the T-22's armor is just outright broken on how it works. Now, this grill, I like how he doesn't back behind the ridge, just slowly backs down the ridge so that everybody can shoot him. But that was a pretty dang good battle. Wasn't the best, as I said, but yeah, we were still able to do 3,114 damage. Now, the reason I wanted to make today's video is because I was thinking, you know what, the Blitz Fair is coming around the corner, and obviously the T-22 medium is going to be coming in the Blitz Fair some way or another. another. It's probably going to be very expensive if it's in the auctions, probably $100. And if it's coming out in the snow globes like last year, well, good luck getting it. But the big thing is I always want to make my review on the tanks before they come out, just so you have an idea of how they play. That way you don't have to go searching through the YouTubes when the tank does come out and you're trying to find an accurate and new review on the vehicle. So this way you've got a little bit of point of reference if you want to get this tank or you want to keep it far, far away from your garage. Now, is it worth $100? I can't say it is because I don't think any tank is worth $100 unless, of course, you're like me, you're trying to make a review on it. But for the average person, I'd say about $60 or more would be a decent price to get the T-22 medium for, just judging on Blitz economics. But yeah, that's still a pretty expensive price tag for a tier 10 in general, when you could probably get your hands on a Chieftain Mark 6 for like $25. So my personal opinion is if you're gonna get any tier 10 vehicle this Blitz fair and you don't have any, I would suggest to go for the Chieftain Mark 6. I will always say this, and the reason for that being is because the Chieftain Mark 6 is a fantastic tier 10. It's got an accurate gun, 3,000 damage per minute. It's got Hesh. Not only that, it's quick, it's got good gun depression. It's honestly a do-it-all tank. And not only that, but it's probably going to be about $25, $30 if it comes into the auction, which we are all hoping. So the T-22 medium is kind of like, yeah, if you want to spend big bucks, you can get it. But the Chieftain is just a fantastic vehicle to try and get in general. Now, it doesn't look like anybody's pushing over here. They only have one medium as it is, and they also have a light, so I guess they could have pushed here, but doesn't look like they're doing that anytime soon. Now, not only is the T-22 medium having that stupid armor profile, but it also goes 56 kilometers per hour. Oh, there is actually the bat chat. So let's put on our auto aim, and let's start penning some shells into the bat chat here. There's already 2 shells into him, and hello, comrade, do you like a big shell? So let's see if we can get the bounces. There you go. Again, bounces. One way to really counter heat spam is run a T-22, because funny enough, the heat shells actually have a way harder time of getting through the side armor of a T-22 medium than standard shells do. Now that is a T-110E5, and there you go, another bounce on the tank. Let's wait until he backs up. Oof. You can see the gun struggles at a little bit of range. It's not like a 62A where it's just a dead-eye cannon, but it's still quite an accurate gun for what you're getting into. So we got that E5 off to the side here, who is still pushing quite aggressive. Let's see if we can get a shell. Ooh, come on, these shells not wanting to pen. But the C5 is pushing on a tank that I know he's probably going to regret in the long run. There's another nice pen. We've damaged his ammo rack now. He's, I don't really know what he's doing, to be fair, but we out DPM him, so we're just going to try and wiggle here the best of our abilities. Come on, get to my side. Yes, shoot HE at me. I'm not sure why you're doing that again, but to be fair, the E5 isn't what scares me. It's the guy behind him, that Jagdpanzer. Oh boy, there goes the E5 though. Long live him. And now we can start bullying this Jag, trying to use that good turret armor we have. Back up now. Oh, he got a shell right through our tank. Well, that is not great, as you can see. You don't want to be penned by any tank, especially a Jagdpanzer E100, so yeah, gonna stay a little bit away from him. But to be fair, we're still getting out damage very easily this game. We're sitting at 2,771 this battle, and one more shell into the east side of this Jag, and we'll be easily clearing, there you go, the 3,000 damage. So pretty dang nice game pulled out from the T-22 medium once again here. Let's see if we can get a shell into the superstructure of his vehicle. There's a nice tap. Let's put on that adrenaline. I thought he was going to try and drive over the ridge and kill us, but still 3,300 damage once again. You can see, even when getting hit, even when getting rushed by a lot of vehicles, the T-22 is just a good vehicle all around. Another pretty dang good game. So the T-22 medium, in my opinion, is still overpowered. Its armor is way too forgiving. As you saw, I got hit by that grill that one game. A normal medium, any medium at that, would have been penned by that grill except me. I got hit by that bat chat. That one's a little bit more iffy. Mediums can bounce bat chat shells. But honestly, it's just the fact that the T-22 medium's armor is so troll. The way that you can get bounces in the side way more reliably than the frontal armor is what makes it so good. And the turret on this vehicle is honestly stronger than most tier 10 heavy tank turrets. So it's got everything going for it, packed in this neat little bundle with 3,200 DPM or something like that. And that's, of course, with me running calibrated. So if you run gun rammer, you're at 3,500 DPM. So yeah, don't mess with the T-22 medium. I personally do think it's a pretty dang good tank, especially if it were to come out for a fixed price tag. But we're going to have to see what Wargaming does this Blitz Fair. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Of course, if you enjoyed today's video and you want to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. But other than that, hopefully all of you are doing well out there. Stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.